I started noticing it during the early mornings. My legs felt like they were recovering from a long hike, even when I hadn't done more than shuffle from bed to kitchen. A slight ache, a weird stiffness around the knees, and worst of all, this creeping fatigue just from walking up the stairs. I thought maybe I needed more calcium or protein, but I was already taking supplements, eating relatively clean, or so I believed. Still, the heaviness in my legs got worse. Standing too long made my knees sore. Walking made my calves burn. That's when I began to look deeper. Here are the 2 vitamins that weakens your leg. 1. Vitamin A, when too much of a good thing turns dangerous. Let's start with the first suspect, vitamin A. I always thought of vitamin A as a hero. It's the vitamin you associate with good vision, a strong immune system, healthy skin. It's in carrots, right? So it has to be good. That's what I thought too. But here's the problem. When you hit your 60s, your body doesn't handle excess vitamin A the same way it did when you were 30 or 40. In fact, after 60, too much of this vitamin can quietly turn against you, especially your muscles and joints. I remember the day I first read the phrase hypervitaminosis A. It sounded like some rare, complicated disease, but really it just means having too much vitamin A in your system. And it's surprisingly common among seniors, especially those taking multivitamins or individual A supplements. You see, vitamin A is fat-soluble. That means your body stores it in the liver instead of flushing it out, like vitamin C. So, when you take a high-dose supplement day after day, year after year, it builds up. And that buildup, that's where the real trouble begins. One morning, I found myself struggling to rise from the sofa, not because I was tired, but because my thigh muscles felt sore and weak. It wasn't the kind of pain that screams for attention. It was more subtle, almost like my muscles were being drained from the inside. When I talked to my doctor, I was told that excess vitamin A can cause muscle soreness, stiffness, and even joint discomfort. But that wasn't the most alarming part. What scared me most was when I learned how it interferes with calcium and magnesium absorption. Now think about that. Calcium and magnesium are 2 of the core minerals your muscles need to contract, relax, and recover. Without enough magnesium, for example, your muscles cramp. Without enough calcium, they can't contract properly. That explains the Charlie horses I'd been waking up with in the middle of the night, and the random leg cramps that showed up for no reason. And there's more. Excess vitamin A doesn't just mess with your muscles. It also causes bone demineralization, particularly in the legs and hips, exactly the areas you depend on for walking, standing, even balancing. I used to think my hip discomfort was from aging or maybe early signs of arthritis, but as it turns out, overdoing vitamin A was weakening the very bones I thought I was protecting. And here's the wildest part: it's easy to get too much. Liver, egg yolks, dairy, and many bone health supplements are all high in vitamin A. Add fortified cereals, multivitamins, and a once-a-day supplement on top of that. You're looking at a real risk for overload. I was shocked when I realized I didn't need a supplement at all, because a basic diet already gave me more than enough. That's what I mean when I say that sometimes doing more is actually doing too much. I now look at every label. I check the dosages. I understand that vitamin A is helpful only in balance. When it's too much, it drains your legs, your bones, your mobility, slowly and silently. Have you ever felt like your legs are giving up on you for no obvious reason? Have you ever blamed your joints when it was really your supplements? I did, but not anymore. 2. Vitamin D, the surprising risk, hiding in your sunshine pill. Now let's talk about the second big culprit, vitamin D. This one hurt, because I really believed it was saving me. Every health article I read, every senior seminar I attended, every conversation I had with other older adults, it all pointed to one thing. Take more vitamin D. It's good for your bones. It's essential for immunity. It prevents falls, right? But nobody told me what happens when you take too much. And that's what I had been doing without knowing it. What I didn't realize is that vitamin D is also fat soluble, like vitamin A. That means your body stores it, And if you're taking more than you need over time, your blood levels can climb into a danger zone. I remember clearly the first time my legs started cramping for no reason in the middle of a walk. My calves felt tight, like they were being squeezed from the inside. I chalked it up to dehydration or maybe a potassium imbalance. But weeks passed and the leg discomfort kept getting worse. Stiffness, burning, a weird tingling in my thighs after climbing stairs. That's when I dug deeper, and what I found was both surprising and frustrating. You see, excess vitamin D causes something called hypercalcemia, elevated levels of calcium in your blood. Elevated calcium from too much vitamin D doesn't just leave your blood happy and healthy. No, it starts depositing in your soft tissues, like your muscles and tendons. And that causes stiffness, pain, and impaired mobility, particularly in the legs. I used to believe vitamin D only worked in your bones, but it turns out that excess calcium in the bloodstream can actually cause your leg muscles to malfunction. You get cramps, you lose coordination, you start feeling like your legs aren't quite responding the way they should. And once again, it's all because of too much of something we thought was good. What's worse is that excessive vitamin D can damage your kidneys, and kidneys, as we know, play a big role in mineral balance and toxin removal. When your kidneys are strained, they don't regulate calcium and phosphorus properly. That leads to swelling, discomfort, and a sense of general weakness, often felt first in the legs. Here's what hit me hardest. Like most people my age, I wasn't getting all that much sunlight, so I assumed I needed a high-dose supplement. But my doctor later told me that most people only need 800 to 1,000 IU per day. Some supplements contain 5,000 IU or even more. Taken daily for months, that's a recipe for overload. Do your legs feel tighter than they used to? Are you noticing discomfort or fatigue after doing things that used to be easy? Don't just look at your activity level, look at your supplements. Like me, you might be sabotaging yourself with something meant to help. I started this journey thinking I was doing everything right. I was eating relatively healthy, taking my vitamins, watching my salt, and yet I still felt weak in the legs. I thought maybe it was just normal aging. But normal aging doesn't explain sharp cramps, constant stiffness, and this deep fatigue that wouldn't go away. Once I learned about vitamin A and vitamin D overload, everything started to make sense. But the story doesn't end with vitamins. What we eat every day, those seemingly innocent foods, can either protect our leg strength or silently tear it down. I'll share what I found. I realized that my diet had quietly become a minefield. I loved a sweet treat now and then, a slice of pie, a bit of cake after dinner, but I never made the connection between refined sugar and leg weakness. Sugar increases inflammation, disrupts insulin, and saps muscle energy. Not only does it make your muscles tired, but it also makes them inefficient. Then came the fried foods. Oh, those golden fries and crispy nuggets. Delicious, yes, but a disaster for circulation. Saturated and trans fats interfere with blood flow. And what do your leg muscles need most? Oxygen, nutrients, constant recovery. Every fried meal I ate was like sending a slow toxin through my legs. The truth is, many of us over 60 are slowly eating away our own strength without even knowing it. We're seduced by convenience, by packaging, by habit. But every bite we take can either support or weaken the muscles that carry us through life. So here's what I've learned, and what I hope you'll take away from this. Leg weakness after 60 is not just a given. It's not just old age. It's often a result of what we put into our bodies, especially those two vitamins, A and D, when taken in excess. And it's made worse by processed foods, poor circulation, and daily habits we don't question. I'm not telling you to throw away every pill in your cabinet. I'm asking you to be curious, be informed, look at your supplement labels, ask your doctor about your blood levels, and most of all, listen to your legs. They're speaking through soreness, through cramps, through that sluggish heaviness. They're telling you something's off. I made changes, I reduced my vitamin A intake, I adjusted my vitamin D based on lab results, I swapped my processed meals for whole foods, I drank more water, I got outside more, and slowly, beautifully, my legs responded. I could stand longer, walk farther, climb stairs again. It wasn't magic, it was science and choice. So ask yourself, what are your legs telling you today? If you found this video eye-opening, subscribe to the channel for more insights into senior health and wellness. Drop a comment below and share your experience. Have you ever struggled with unexplained leg weakness? What changes have you made? Don't forget to click the bell so you'll never miss the next video. We're in this together, step by step, towards strength, vitality, and independence.